Wow, you guys, the Rudy Farias thing is getting even weirder, right? It's getting even weirder. So, I actually know somebody by the last name of, I know a couple of people by the last name of Farias who actually do have ties to Texas, but I'm kind of getting the sense that Farias might be a common name, kind of like my last name is a common name. Beck is like Smith, basically. For Germans, Beck is like Smith. So it looks like his mom has been doing a lot of scams for a long time, and she might have that Munchausen disorder. It's entirely possible that that's going on here, and I don't know what the angle is on how this 8 years of being missing and being drugged and going into the woods when family came over and drinking beers and eating rotisserie chickens because he was kind of plump, right? Like she was clearly feeding him, right? But she was also sort of debilitating him. She was allegedly drugging him. Um, I don't know if that was a willful choice or not. And she was just cool with it because she wanted him there, right? He was performing the role of daddy, but that apparently, according to his own interview with a local Fox affiliate, is did not include sexual intercourse. I don't know what that means. I don't know what's going on with this story, but it's one of the most bizarre ass things. So this apparently happened. We're also confused about his age because apparently on the missing report she lied about his birth date. So he wasn't actually 17 when he disappeared, he was 18. And keep in mind, dude showed up next day and went back to live with his mom, and she never informed the police that he returned, right? I don't even know what to think about these two people. Okay. And so, also, she apparently had been previously married to somebody who worked for Houston PD. And so, the HPD allegedly is not coming down hard on her because she is the wife of a former colleague, right? This is the weirdest fucking story, you guys.
I really was not expecting to put another video out today, but wait until y'all see what I have found. Before we get into it though, I did want to let you guys know that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do.
By the way, I don't know why I've seen so many live streamers saying the exact same words, giving their disclaimer. Was there some sort of like informational, these are the legal disclaimers that you need to put out, that was sent out by YouTube? Because I don't recall getting an email discussing this. I mean, literally, people who do react videos, people who comment on the news, people who, like, I would assume that we're all already saying, like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not personally involved. I'm just, commenting my reactions to what I'm watching. Why are we getting, like, why is there so much weird censorship going on with, you can't say things like, I guess you can't say sexual assault anymore, right? And you can't say pedophilia, and you can't say, like, why can't you say these things? Like, this makes it very difficult to watch these live streams because they're self-censoring in such a way that it disrupts the story that you're watching, right? I get it if you want to take the time, YouTube, to actually moderate these videos and find out if somebody is saying it in a vulgar, hateful, aggressive, sexually violent way. But why are you just why are all of these live streamers afraid to say words? It's very scary, the kind of censorship that's going on YouTube right now.
Not show hate to anybody, anywhere.
All right, what happened?
Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. It is Thursday. It's almost Friday, the weekend. I feel weird saying that because I know a lot of people work on the weekends, but hopefully every single...
Well, sweetheart, Thursday is not generally the weekend for most people, but okay.
Person watching this is going to get to do something fun this weekend, even if your fun is doing nothing. Okay, so... You guys, so I put yesterday's video out, and real quick, if you guys are not all caught up on the Rudy Farias case and the situation with his mom, Janie Santana, I have a whole playlist. Go and get caught up.
Okay, what do you got?
But I was reading comments from yesterday's video, and a couple of y'all were talking about the fact that Rudy and his mom were on the news back in 2012. Now, when I watched the interview that I put bits and pieces on...
Okay, so we're talking 11 years ago. And even if you shift the age range by 1 year, because she had misprinted his birth date so that he would be 17 at the time that he was supposedly gone missing in 2015. So now we're talking 2012. Even if she had lied about his birth date and he was 18, this is 3 years earlier, right? So he was definitely a child. That's another one I like to follow. She does a lot of Asian stories. All right, but this is definitely a minor at the time that she was pulling this scam. And he recently did an interview on Fox News, a local affiliate in Texas, in which he said that there was really nothing wrong with him. He had a malignant tumor on his foot, and he was controlling it with like over-the-counter like Tylenol. And it just needed to be removed. It wasn't a big deal.
Or in the video that I put up yesterday, I saw them speak about this briefly, but I did not know the extent of it. Now, you guys, this has really got me questioning some stuff. I'm talking about when I saw this, my mind went all over the place. But I do need to say this first. I'm not a professional by no means. Please know that everything that I'm going to be saying to y'all is...
I'm not either, okay? I am not a medical professional. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what's going on with these two people. I'm literally watching shit on the internet and just reacting to it.
Me giving my opinions on very public information that is already out there. Please go do your own research, form your own opinion. Just don't show hate to anybody anywhere, because it is very bizarre. And a lot of y'all are saying in the comments section that this is like one of the most bizarre cases that you've ever heard of. And I'm right there with you, because every time you think you might be on a path to, okay, now this makes sense, boop, it goes left. And I'm like, I can't keep...
I don't know. I mean, I just watched a video earlier this morning about people who have bought haunted houses, and one of them was the Jean-Benet Ramsey house. Like, who the fuck does that?
up with this. So, back in 2012, when Rudy was blank years old, and I've got to say that because I can't figure out truly even how old he is. The missing poster that was released when he was missing, which we know that he was not technically missing, said that he was born in 1997. Rudy said in the interview that he is 26 right now. Okay, it's not October, which means that then, according to him, he's getting ready to turn 27.
Rudy, how are you 25?
Let's say 26.
So, how old?
Wait, so we're off by 2 years, not just 1 year. We're off by 2 years.
Really is he? But nevertheless, back in 2012, he went into the hospital. And this is when Janie started doing interviews with the media saying that they were getting ready to lose their home. And she was crying, saying that her other son had just passed away and that her son now has like all this cancer and and that her son, meaning Rudy, was writing, I guess, from the hospital bed, the governor, the mayor, and everybody begging them either not to take their home because their home was in foreclosure or to at least let them get his dead brother's stuff out of the home, okay? So this was a scheme.
Oh, no. These are all schemes. Oh, this is terrible. And he's been helping his mom do this because, okay, so she just adjusted his age to... He would have been 16 when they did their first scam. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys.
Or a scam allegedly going on all the way back in 2012 when Rudy was just much younger, however old he actually was back then. Check this out.
We couldn't talk to Rudy Farias face to face today because he's in the hospital. He's been there at least a month, ever since he blacked out at home, nearly scaring his mother to...
Wow.
I just lost a son, and when he hit the floor, all I could think was I can't lose another son. He's all I've got left.
We first met Rudy in...
This puts a whole new light on how the HPD reacted during that press conference. And when they were basically like, he's an alleged victim, right? Because it sounds like he's a co-conspirator at this point. And I imagine that's why they're doing a deeper dive into this investigation and haven't exactly offered... I mean, they gave him the resources. They gave him the phone numbers and stuff for the protective services. But they're not, like, forcing the mom to stay away from Rudy because there's... Based on... They probably already had all this info, right? They probably already had all this info. And now they're like, I don't know. I don't know if he's really being abused.
February, when he was trying to honor that other son, his older brother, Charles Uresti. He died in a motorcycle wreck. Charles was a Marine and more like a father than a big brother to Rudy. The 14-year-old, who, by the way, has cancer, wanted to honor Charles with a motorcycle procession to his gravesite. Now, Rudy has cerebral spinal fluid leaking into his skull, putting pressure on his brain. He's undergone several operations and has a feeding tube.
He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve any of this.
Wait a
Now,
minute.
the bank has foreclosed.
Is this a completely separate hospital injury? Is this like the third time you've all been in the news? Because what he described on the Fox interview earlier this week was that it was a malignant tumor on his foot. What are we talking about here?
Closed on the family's home. Rudy has written frantic emails from the hospital to try to stop it. To the bank, to the mayor, to anyone he thinks might help. If not stop the foreclosure, then let him recover mementos from his brother. Things like photos and the flag Marines gave him after his brother's funeral. Things his mother says are set to be auctioned off with the contents of the house.
Oh, and you know that because of HIPAA law, there's no way that his doctors, that the hospital, nobody could have corrected their testimony about his condition because of HIPAA laws, you guys.
That's the only home he's ever known. But most important is his brother's things. He wants his brother's things. That's what he cherishes more than his own things.
I called the bank's lawyers to see if there was any way that could happen. He said he'd talk to the client and see what could be done. In the meantime, his mom wonders just how much longer Rudy's emotional strength will hold out. Strength that is keeping her going, too.
He's the one that...
Oh my God, I'm feeling more and more that this is a money scam, you guys. And I fell for it. I'm sure a lot of you fell for it too. But I'm feeling more and more that this is a money scam. GoFundMe's, media coverage. I don't even know how you do that. Like, most people who have like medical emergencies don't get the media to cover it. This is really bizarre bullshit, you guys.
tells me, Mommy, everything's gonna be okay. He says everything's gonna be okay. He says as long as we have each other.
Now, in the interview that he gave Fox 26 News, the one that I showed y'all pieces of in the video that I put out yesterday, Rudy was asked about this. And this is when he said,
We actually, Fox 26, we interviewed your mother while you were in the hospital 10 years ago in 2012. What happened? Why were you in the hospital? And I guess it was mentioned to our reporter at the time that you had cancer.
I had a tumor on my heel at one point, but that was irrelevant. Originally, I think all that had started because she wanted me to fake taking a bottle of Tylenol or Aleve PM or something, sleeping pills. And then she wanted to fake me going to the hospital, and she pretty much just forced me to go into the ER and be like, hey, act like you're sick and you're overdosing and shit.
This was before you were missing?
Yes, sir.
Why? Why was this happening?
I don't even remember.
so I'm wondering now, all of the pictures that we saw of him in the bed that she was taking of him in 2012, was that because they were treating him because they thought that he had OD'd, and then Janie turned around and used those photos to the media to make it seem like they were treating him for some form of deadly cancer? What in the world? And in that media clip, it showed Rudy actually talking to people. We couldn't actually hear what he was saying, but I am curious what they have on video footage of what Rudy actually did. Now, mind you, he was a minor at the time, so I do believe that he was just doing whatever his mother told him to do. But again, I want to refresh y'all's memory here, okay? The brother passed away from the motorcycle accident. The father of Rudy ended it all because he was under investigation with the HPD, who he had worked for 21 years. Okay, we're not talking about a rookie cop that got in there working for the police department and decided to try to, get away with a little something. He had been there for 21 years and then was being investigated in a ticket money laundering scheme where his dad allegedly had basically got $158,000 in overtime by having tickets written in different places and pretending like he was working all this overtime when he wasn't. So after 21 years of being with the HPD, now his dad's getting investigated, and he went and ended it all with his full uniform on, in his cop car, in a parking garage, and everything. Okay, so his father was obviously into scamming as well.
Yeah.
Now you got Rudy being raised by his mom. And mind you, his daddy was alive in 2012. That didn't happen with his father until 2014. So at this time, Rudy is being raised around his mama, who's teaching him to lie and do all these things and fake these symptoms and as well as his father. Whoa. Okay,
yeah,
whoa. And this is why I said in that video yesterday that in my opinion, Rudy needs a serious evaluation, because if he has certain issues, if there is Munchausen's by proxy that is playing a role in all of this, the only way they're going to know is by doing those types of long-term evaluations where they're watching him, he's getting treatment, they're trying to figure out the truth about what's really going on.
I think you're being very generous at this point, because it sounds like he was getting kind of a sweet deal of being a lazy ass. And she was allowing him to drink as much as he wanted. I don't know if he had drugs, they could have tested him. Did anything come up for drugs when they admitted him to the hospital for evaluation? Did that happen? He was supposedly unresponsive in front of this church. The whole situation, I mean, all of them need psychological evaluations at this point. But I think that at this point, dude is 27. He's going to be 27 or 28 this year. I call bullshit on this story.
And because otherwise, what's happening? Now, if they do that evaluation and they figure out that he is just lying and a part of a scam along with his family, then, they need to handle that too. But I don't think we're going to know what really has gone on with him without that type of professional intervention and evaluation. I saw in the video yesterday that some of y'all had questions about the fact that I used the word mushrooms while referring to Rudy. I used the words mushrooms on purpose because when Quanell spoke to him at the hotel when all of this blew up, Quanell said that Rudy told him that his mother would give him mushrooms.
He did. This is true. But now the question is, was that a consensual arrangement? Was she helping him out and giving him the drugs that he requested? And was he saying, you give this to me if you want me to participate in your scam? I'm very confused by this story. I don't know what's happening. And it seems to me very suspect.
Said she was the one providing drugs to him for years. Hallucination drugs, mushrooms, etc.
So I was being serious. I was not being funny when I said that yesterday because of the way that Rudy was talking reminded me of somebody that has either taken psychedelics for a long time.
All of it, everything around us, it's an algorithm that they control through colors and just everything. Like if you see something white, like a white wall or a white pillowcase or a white car driving around the place, you'll just understand that, like, you're just trying to have a positive
I hope you're going to cover the nanobots and the anti-vaxxer shit.
thought, and then you'll look at something white and get sidetracked, and you'll get distracted about stuff and things, and then you'll find stuff like a pink wall or something, or pink whatever, and then you'll just be reminded of, somebody trying to help you, prosperity, just somebody loving people, and red, people confuse that for anger or hate, and it's only anger or hate, these type of things, if you look at it that way,
or was currently on psychedelics, but it may not be why he was talking that way. There could be other issues at play.
Said she was the one providing drugs to him for years.
But nobody is going to know, again, unless Rudy is taken in, given treatment, and examined. But when I saw that 2012 interview with Janie, who knows how much money she got from that? And I'm also trying to figure out, did none of the Houston doctors see that news reporting? Now, don't get me wrong. It is not the Houston doctors and nurses and ER doctors' responsibility to watch the news and make sure nobody is lying and using.
No, look, seriously. Yes, it is. Because these are local doctors. They would have seen the news. Their friends and family would have talked to them about it. And the reality is they're mandatory reporters. And at that point, they should have said, there's something very fishy going on here. Let's report it to Child Protective Services.
Their children to scam the public out of funds or whatever. It's not their responsibility. But I do wonder, did nobody see that and go, wait a minute, that's not why that boy was being treated. He was being treated for this reason. I don't know. All we've got to go by is what Rudy is saying now versus what was being said back then. And they don't match up. Mm-hmm. And that looks like Janie has not only been doing this for a very long time, but she's been doing it with Rudy and right in everybody's faces and getting away with it.
Yep.
It seems bizarre. I hope that the HPD is doing a full for real investigation. I think that they are, and I really hope that they are. And they may be building a case bigger than what we were expecting, because it looks like this goes back far and deep. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think down below. I know that a lot of you guys think that Rudy is just a scammer like his mom. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know. My feelings yesterday in the video that I said at the end of yesterday is how I still feel as of now. But what I do know is none of us are going to know if they don't get him away and give him a...
Well, he is away. He's living with a family friend, right? So obviously nobody's too concerned about the dangers here. And so, yeah, I would agree with you. He needs a mental evaluation. But at the same time, they're not concerned for his safety at this point. He was obviously a chubby child and a chubby adult. He was getting fed and clothed and had a roof over his head. He was drinking beer in the forest behind the house, eating rotisserie chickens. He was never detained, and he had internet access. So I think that we need to come to the conclusion at this point that Rudy was a conspirator in this situation. I think that's where we're going to land, allegedly. And I apologize to the Houston PD for saying that all of you needed to be fired, because it seems pretty clear that you knew a lot more than I did. Obviously.
Serious evaluation. You know, like the ones that they do, people that commit heinous crimes and then they go into jail and all of a sudden they're crazy and they're trying to get like the insanity plea. Let me know what you think down below. Other than that, I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for being here, and I'll be reading y'all's comments. Love you guys. Bye.